I got my arrogant shipmate charged for 67 breakfasts. So I was in the Navy about 30 years ago, and we were flying back from this deployment. We had to stop at an Air Force base to refuel and get our planes checked out before the final leg home. It's like 6 a.m. and we're all starving, so our whole unit heads to the chow hall for breakfast. Now, we had this guy Dan in our group, who was basically the most annoying person you've ever met. Dan was good at his job, don't get me wrong, but he thought he was way more important than he actually was. Like, he'd constantly name-drop officers he'd talked to once or brag about how crucial he was to every mission. The rest of us just rolled our eyes and dealt with it because you have to work with people like that in the military. So we get to the chow hall, and there's this long line of hungry airmen waiting for eggs and bacon. I'm standing second in line, and my buddy Lee is first. Lee worked in the same shop as Dan, the electrical department, while I worked on airframes. We're just standing there talking about getting home when Dan shows up. He takes one look at the line, walks straight up to us and goes, "Sorry guys, I need to cut ahead. We got birds coming in and I need to eat fast so I can help with the turnaround." Lee and I just stared at him. First of all, if there were planes coming in early, we all would have gotten the radio call. That's just how it works. You don't get surprised by incoming aircraft. Second, even if there was an emergency, Lee would definitely know about it since he worked directly with Dan every single day. But Dan's already pushing past us, acting all important and urgent. He's checking his watch and sighing, like the fate of the entire Navy depends on him finishing his scrambled eggs in record time. The thing is, we all knew exactly what this was. Dan just didn't want to wait in line like everyone else. He thought his rank meant he could skip ahead whenever he felt like it. Now here's where it gets good. This Air Force base had this system where you had to sign in to pay for your food. You write your name, rank, unit number, and the last 4 digits of your social security number. Dan rolls up to the register, all confident, and signs the book. Smith Dan A, AE2, VF 1434567, or whatever his info was. Lee sees this and gets this evil little smile on his face. When it's his turn, he signs in with the exact same information. Smith Dan A, AE2, VF 1434567. I'm watching this happen and I'm trying not to laugh. So when I get to the register, I do the same thing. Same name, same rank, same unit number, same last 4 digits. We're cracking up as we sit down to eat our breakfast. Dan has no idea what we just did. He's over at his table acting all serious, probably planning how he's gonna tell everyone about his crucial breakfast mission. After we finished eating, we completely forgot about the whole thing. We flew home, got back to our regular routine, and life went on. But about 2 weeks later, we're at morning quarters, getting our daily briefings, when our commanding officer makes an announcement. He's got this paperwork in his hand and he's trying not to smile. He goes, "Apparently we have a situation with some breakfast charges from our fuel stop." That's when it all came flooding back. Oh no, what did we do? Turns out, after Lee and I signed Dan's name, pretty much everyone else in our unit caught on and did the same thing. Like 65 other guys all signed in as Dan Smith. So the Air Force Base processed all these breakfast charges and sent one giant bill to Dan for 67 meals, $235, which was serious money back then. The entire unit just lost it. Everyone's laughing and looking at Dan, who's standing there turning bright red as he realizes what happened. Our CO was actually pretty cool about it. He didn't write anyone up or anything, but he strongly suggested we all chip in to pay Dan back, which we did. But for those 2 weeks, Dan had to explain to his wife why the military charged him for feeding half the squadron breakfast. The best part? Dan never cut in line again.